the LMHC who loves to write, and let's explore how you can use these concepts to help develop your characters. These are 4 words that we tend to use pretty interchangeably, but when you really break them down, are really 4 unique ideas. And it's possible for your character to have one or some, and what they have or what they develop is really going to change how they're presenting. Furthermore, I want to propose that in certain genres of fiction, a character's overall arc from beginning to end of their story is going to look like going through and kind of collecting each of these 4 until eventually they have that center of full self-development. Let's start up here with self-acceptance. What does it mean to have self-acceptance? Proposal, you could consider self-acceptance as having an accurate perception of yourself and being able to accept that this is accurately who you are. Notably, accepting that this is who you are does not necessarily mean that you like that that's who you are. You just have an accurate perception of exactly what kind of person you are. You aren't deluding yourself and you're accepting this is how I am. Underneath here we have self-love, which is the idea that your character has unconditional positive self-regard for themselves. I'm taking this from a concept from Rogerian therapy and mental health counseling, the idea that regardless of what your character does or what they're currently doing or what flaws they may have or what's going on in their lives, your character perceives themselves as positively and are grateful to be themselves. Up here we have self-worth, which I'm describing as belief that you have inherent self-value, that there is something about your character that means they inherently have value as a living being. Down here we have the concept of self-esteem, which is your character's confidence in their own abilities and having respect for themselves, believing that they are capable and that what they are capable of doing they are good at. So what might it look like if your character has some of these but not all of these? Let's combine self-acceptance with self-love. If your character is accurately able to perceive themselves and perceives themselves positively, they have enjoyment of themselves. They say, this is me, ta-da, here I am, take it or leave it. I enjoy being myself, I find joy in being myself. If your character has self-love and self-esteem, they're confident in their abilities and they perceive themselves positively, they have a sense of self-contentment. The things I am capable of doing, I am content that I am good at doing those things. If a character has a sense of self-worth and a sense of self-esteem, that might present itself in a concept of utility. I believe I am valuable because I have things I can do that are useful, or I'm confident in the things that I can do, and therefore that helps me believe in my sense of value. I feel useful to myself. If a character has a sense of self-acceptance and a sense of self-worth, I believe I have an inherent value. That value coexists with having an accurate perception of myself. I believe that my existence has a purpose, some kind of fulfillment for being. Now, I don't go into each of these other overlapping segments where you have 3 without having all 4, but I think it would be worth sitting down with your characters and exploring which ones of these aspects do they have. If you have a character that has self-acceptance and self-esteem, they accurately perceive themselves and have confidence in their abilities, but they don't have a sense of self-love, they're not positive with themselves about it, and they don't have a sense of self-worth, they don't believe what they can accurately do confidently is valuable. How will that change how they present? If a character has self-acceptance and self-love but does not believe that they are valuable or have confidence in their abilities, you might end up with a pretty sunshiny character who feels useless to the rest of the cast, for example. I'd also like to propose the idea for anyone who's writing coming-of-age stories or stories where your character is going through a large arc of self-acceptance and discovery. You could have a character that starts out with only one of these or none of these and then is developing each of these over time, and then explore how that changes how the character presents, and then explore what it means for a character to achieve this very rare middle space where they have this sense of full acceptance and peace and what might be called self-actualization. Share with me in the comments how you can use this to develop your characters, and happy writing!